So I think part of Kieran getting a big, especially a big like Brian, is that Brian really sets a high bar for him, not just in an example, but in expectation. And I just think that that may be a luxury that Brian and I have had in our lives that not every kiddo has.
Kieran and I are going on our 6th year of being matched with the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. When I first met Kieran, he was in middle school at Hogan, and this little dude comes out, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's tiny. And he was extremely shy, but smiling.
Before I met Brian, I was kind of like a little lonely a little bit. Because I felt like I ain't have nobody like to hang out with in my life. It felt really good, actually, to know somebody really cared and kept showing up.
Kieran comes from a single-parent family, and that's why we try to be really consistent about doing it again, because I want there to be sort of a consistency in his life.
I think that Brian has set the bar for Kieran to be a confident, honest man. I think he expects Kieran to try, and I think Kieran does try, partially because he knows Brian's watching.
One of the things I take so much joy in is when we watch sports and I'll say things, like I've said things like, we gotta get pressure on the quarterback. And like 10 minutes later, he'll say like, we gotta get pressure on the quarterback. And I'm like, oh, he's copying me in a good way, you know? And I think part of my love for it has impacted him.
Ryan helped me with my reading skills. He encouraged me not to give up.
Kieran does struggle a little bit to read. A lot of that is just practice, right? He actually loves to read. I think he loves to read fiction. But he does have trouble reading some of the deeper level stuff.
Every Thursday, they get like a tutor to help me with my reading. That's one thing I'm glad that they're here for.
That one-on-one attention was incredible, right? It came down to somebody's got to get him there, and somebody's got to pay for it. And again, that was Brian, without hesitation, just said, we're going to make it happen.
We had senior pictures coming up. He told me, he's like, I want to look nice because I want to be able to give these pictures to my family. And so I said, yeah, we can help with that. So we took a little shopping trip to Express.
That day was the best. I was smiling the whole time. I was so excited.
My hopes and goals for Kieran include, again, the ability to be his own man and to be independent and to be able to do what he wants to do in life. And I want him to be able to take advantage of his desire to be able to help people. I just want him to be happy.
It makes me feel so happy that I get to see Brian and he can see me grow up, to develop, to become a good person and all that. I'm glad to have him as my big brother. He really showed me he really cared. I feel like he's like my father figure in my life.
I can't wait to see him graduate and to see the look on his face when he graduates. He wants to, at some point, maybe attend the University of Kansas, which I'm really proud of. I'll always be there if he needs guidance or has questions. Graduation won't be the end of us. Just another chapter.
It is really fun, having spent 6 years with Kieran, to see the things that he does now that I know Brian or I have influenced for him. Being a big has been one of the most important and impactful things that Brian and I will have done in our lives.
I can honestly say that Big Brothers Big Sisters is probably the most well-run, structured organization that we've had the opportunity to be a part of. But the real reason to support this program, to support Big Brothers Big Sisters, is because of the kids. They deserve a chance, and in some ways I think these matches really give kids a chance to either be exposed to things they wouldn't have been exposed to meet people that they wouldn't have met, and to have opportunities that maybe would have never been presented to them. It's been so rewarding for me and for Jess to just have had the opportunity to just be a little part of him and hopefully who he becomes.